Hi, I'm Megan. I'm a master teacher and seamstress, and if you want to learn how to quilt, I will show you how. Let's sew. Have you ever seen a quilt with tiny squares and thought, wow, that must have taken forever to cut out? It might, but there's a faster way called strip quilting. You can take 2 strips and sew them together and continue adding on more strips and then cut at the very end. Let's go to the machine and try it. For the Christmas wall hanging I'm creating a border with red and green fabrics. Start by putting the right sides together and stitch with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Instead of cutting when you get to the end, chain on the next piece. Simply take the next 2 pieces with right sides together and continue sewing. You can see how this will save you time as you chain from one piece to the next, and later on it will be easy to trim them up. I try to chain on pieces whenever possible. Besides saving time, it also saves a little bit of thread. Continue sewing and then pressing flat with the iron. Add on more strips until you have all 9 together. Now I have all of my strips sewn together. As you can see, it's not perfectly lined up, but that's okay because I'll trim up the edges. It would be even harder to keep everything lined up if you started with itty bitty squares. I want my border to be 2 1/4 inch wide, so I'll trim 4 strips that are 2 1/4 each. This is just excess that I can throw away. For this quilt, I'll be using green corner squares. So I'll go back to the machine to stitch the squares onto the edges of my strips. And then these 2 side strips will go onto the side of my quilt. And I'll finish off with putting this last row on the top and one on the bottom. That's how you can use strip quilting and chaining to save you time while you piece together your border.